typical of what is in our society with patriarchy, where men feel that they are good enough to express what women need. And it's quite obvious that men still feel that the women should sit at home, and they will find all kinds of political and social and theoretical and cultural excuses, saying that the fabric of society is going to break if women are going to leave their houses and not be there to keep their chapatis hot for them in the evening.
Proponents of the bill view the issue as the forerunner of every other form of social justice.
If you accept that India has been a patriarchal, feudal, caste-ridden society, then how do you change it unless you have various methods of positive discrimination? And it would be only those who have been anti-mandal who would also be anti-reservation for women. Because if you have any kind of social justice, I think gender justice is the first and most basic component, because that is the only really true natural division. All the rest are man-made in any case.
Skeptics argue that a mechanism within parties needs to be put in place first to make sure that there is a substantial jump in the number of women qualified enough to fight elections.
I don't know what anybody means by qualification. Is there any such question being asked of the men? As long as people represent a section of society that needs representation, and they can do that in an articulate manner, I don't think in politics you need any kind of qualification. Qualification does not mean getting certificates in school or college. If you have worked at the grassroots level in leading struggles for the poor, in fighting against injustice, it doesn't really matter if you can write your name or not.
I have worked among village women for more than a decade. I mean, I shared their life, not just working, coming and going. I shared their life for a full decade, and I know how conscious the village women are politically. The panchayats, for example, when this one-third reservation was made, in the beginning everybody thought it will not work, but then it has worked, and training was imparted to them only after being elected. But they have pushed ahead in most of the places.
There are women who are strong enough to come up, but of course they need to be trained to manage themselves at the national level politics, which is little more sophisticated than the local politics. But these women will come. It will all depend on the political parties.
Detractors of the bill also raise fundamental questions relating to the efficacy of the bill in propagating gender equity to the grassroots level.
Are all the parliamentarians who come here, do they work from grassroots level? Excuse me for saying so. I don't think so. Otherwise there would not have been so much criminalization and so much corruption in society. Grassroots connection is a different thing altogether.
Even if there is say increased percentage of women in parliament, as this is a sort of a now issue that women organizations have taken up, and they are now say that they are threatening that they will be having a dharna and all that. But so far as the matter of women empowerment in general is concerned, the masses are concerned, I think it's not going to give any benefit to the women who lives in the villages. It may give benefit to those who are politically ambitious and associated with political parties.
Finally, policies are formulated in Parliament through legislation, and once that becomes a policy, with the trickle-down theory, it has to work in any case. And once you have the proper functioning of the three-tier system, where you have the panchayats and the assemblies and Parliament, you will have the demands expressed from the grassroots being formulated and articulated in Parliament.
The women are already there at the grassroots level. 33% women are there at the grassroots level. But they depend on their program on the center and the states. So it's where from the sources, if women are not there, then the ground level the things won't reach.
They argue that the legislation will face problems similar to those encountered by women in panchayats, like women merely being proxies for their male relatives, or, as some people say, the Biwi Beti brigades. The myth of gender superiority has been exploded time and again by the women of India. One of them fought every court intrigue known in the man's world to be among the longest-serving prime ministers of the country. Her lofty example encouraged numerous women to strive that much harder to emerge leaders in their chosen fields. More women than ever before are conscious that it is important to be equal participants in the process of empowerment itself, than remain grateful beneficiaries of welfare measures.